My name's Monique Spalding and I'm a co-head keeper here at Bonorong Wildlife Sanctuary. So we do a lot of important work here at Bonorong. Primarily we have a rescue, rehabilitation and release program. We get a lot of injured and orphan animals coming through to us every single year, and that's because we run the state's only 24/7 statewide wildlife rescue service. So last year we had almost 10,000 animals called through to this service, and as you can imagine, getting very, very busy with looking after those animals. We do a lot of the treatment here, including at our wildlife veterinary hospital, and we have amazing success with getting a lot of those animals back out into the wild. Another important component of Bonorong is education. Through our daily tours, we're able to educate the public about how they can assist with reducing the amount of injured and orphan animals that do come through, and we provide a long-term home for those animals that can't be released back to the wild. We really do love to support local, particularly those with a focus on animal welfare. 10 Lives do absolutely amazing work with supporting people to ensure they responsibly adopt and look after pet cats, which really goes hand in hand with looking after wildlife as well. As well as 10 Lives, we work closely with other animal organisations such as the Dogs Home, animal sanctuaries such as Brightside Farm Sanctuary and Big Ears Sanctuary up north, the RSPCA, and then we also like to support local organisations who support us. So those that really have conservation in mind. And this ranges from different wineries or brewing companies to different tourism companies as well. All of these really support our work, and so we like to go back and support them as well. The Tour de 10 Lives was a fantastic initiative. We know that we have lots of big fans of the Tour de France in Tasmania with, of course, our Ritchie Port. So fantastic idea for 10 Lives to jump on board with that and basically encouraging people to get on board with sports, but also supporting cats too. So supporting funds being raised for 10 Lives is really important because they are the ones that educate people and make sure people are responsibly owning, looking after cats. That's basically playing a big part in our wildlife, and that's because responsible pet ownership really will ensure that there's less animals coming through to us through not just cat attacks but dog attacks as well. There's a whole multitude of reasons that cats should be looked after properly, not left to roam, and 10 Lives are amazing advocates for this. 10 Lives have been fantastic supporters of us for years. We do run that 24-hour wildlife rescue service here at Bonorong, and we do actually get injured cats called through to us. Even though they're not classed as wildlife, we like to help any injured or orphan animal, whether it's native or not. And we know that 10 Lives are able to be on the other end of that phone, and they will happily take in a cat that has been injured. And we know that that cat is going to be looked after, going to be assessed behaviourally, and if possible, be rehomed to ensure it's not going to be roaming the streets, which is why it may have come in injured at the first place. And any cat that comes through 10 Lives, we know that it's going to be encouraged to stay inside, stay away from wildlife. Wildlife don't just get attacked by cats physically, but even the tiniest little cut or scratch, even if it doesn't seem to harm them, that's going to have a follow-on effect later and cause that animal to essentially become infected, and most of them won't survive. Also, unfortunately, we have a big problem in Australia with a particular disease called toxoplasmosis. Toxoplasmosis is carried in cat feces by both domestic and feral cats, and unfortunately it does have dire consequences for our grass-eating animals, so wallabies, kangaroos, everything right down to our little bandicoots. The bacteria found in these feces, unfortunately, will cause an infection in these animals once they do ingest these particles of feces, and essentially they're going to die after a really awful and elongated stretch of illness. So getting very skinny, getting lethargic, and unfortunately we get a lot of injured and orphan animals coming up to us with toxoplasmosis. By simply keeping cats contained, we can reduce the amount of animals that are infected by this and have to suffer. So 10 Lives have been absolutely amazing in advocating for keeping cats inside, preventing both physical attacks and the spread of toxoplasmosis, which we really, really appreciate.